Hello, everyone. How are we doing?
Hello. All good,
Afternoon.
all good.
Hello.
Good
Hello. We
afternoon or
have
morning or night, wherever you are, whenever you're
wherever you
listening.
tune in. Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Well, so once as you, so now I've realised after six maybe episodes that the name of our podcast is in the top right-hand corner. I will officially welcome you without stuttering to the Roadmap to Nowhere podcast.
So now you have a a cheat sheet there.
So
Exactly.
you
I
don't get
could.
confused.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, exactly. So yeah,
Yeah.
welcome everyone. As per usual, we have an exciting guest to interview, and maybe to just to introduce is the word I was looking for. I'm probably going to ask you, Gus, to do that if you don't mind,
Yeah.
since it's another one of your friends,
Yeah.
and now a friend of
I,
ours,
I,
and now a friend of
I've
ours.
been, yeah. I've been in the region long enough that I have friends everywhere.
Show off.
Um, or maybe I'm nice, you know. So yeah, this is Nelio Leone. Thank you for coming, my friend. He is a self-described growth nerd. He was one of the first marketing leaders at Kareem. He was one of the marketing leaders early stage at Washman. Now he has this like marketing company called Urban Monks. Hope I didn't
Yes.
mess it up. Um, he's like a tinkerer. He goes deep and builds stuff and looks at the data. So he always has like interesting views on building traffic and building an audience, which is what's missing for our product. We
Yeah,
can go back
absolutely.
to that, but Nelio, yeah, hi, welcome to the roadmap to nowhere.
Thank you very much. I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah, good.
Good.
So what's up with you? What's uh
So
what's
yeah,
going on with your life?
lately, of course, as a nerd in marketing, I've been like, massively geeking out on everything related to agents and figuring out this whole vibe marketing thing.
Yeah.
And it seems pretty cool. Like sometimes a bit overpromising, but
Hmm.
overall it seems like very, very exciting. So
Yeah.
yeah, I
Oh
can't
yeah.
wait to like deep dive into it with you guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
What do you
yeah,
think about the word vibe out of interest? Because I find that actually, if you prefix any verb with the word vibe, it becomes a new thing, right?
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, it's not that new. I mean, it's just like marketing automation done with AI, but now they
yeah,
call it vibe marketing, whatever that is. I don't
yeah.
know. Just
I've
like,
I feel
started
like
asking
it's
my children to
yeah.
vibe tidy their room.
yes,
Um,
But
good
it
one.
doesn't it stand for like improvising, for winging it,
yeah,
like vibe podcasting, which is what we do. We have like no script.
vibe
Or
podding. Yeah.
vibe go. Oh my God, the best one would be vibe go to bed. That is
Vibe.
like,
Yeah. However you do
Yeah,
it, just achieve it. Just achieve
you
sleep.
you can tell we're all dads.
Yeah, and I think single-handedly we are going to kill the word vibe. Like we're
Yeah,
going to
yeah,
Oh
make it
yeah, yeah,
uncool just for this
exactly.
yes.
podcast.
It's
Yeah.
it's trending down now. It was like
It-
oh,
It was something cool.
as we
Now it just
speak.
like went down.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
a
yeah,
dad
yeah,
word now.
yeah.
Um,
Officially,
It's
officially.
a
so
bad word.
so the reason why we have Nelio here, you want to explain like where we are at the product and
Yeah.
what we did before?
Yeah. So if anyone has been following our journey, I feel like it is become a
Oh
bit of a
yeah,
journey now, isn't it?
a journey.
Yeah. A couple of weeks ago, we built a tool. I'm not going to call it a product yet because I feel like it hasn't quite earned that yet.
Mm,
It's that it enables people, anyone, but originally the idea was around us old people, to kind of help them plan their supplement routine, get the right nutrients and all this kind of stuff. So we created a tool that allowed them to kind of identify themselves, go through a quiz, and then they get recommended with a bunch of supplements. And you can also go and buy them through our tool through some affiliation marketplace we've got with Amazon. So what's been happening, which has been talking about this as well, is that because we're now getting quite good at building stuff, we've got a bunch of products that are now sitting on shelves. And you're like, okay, so that's not the hard bit then, is it? I mean, it is a hard
mm,
bit, but actually it's the next step that is going to turn a product into a business.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we're at now. We've got a product, it works, it's live, it could generate money, but how do we get it from where it is now to where it needs to be to generate some form of income? And then that's when we leaned on our friend Nelio to kind of get some advice. So that's kind of where we are now.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Let's try it.
yeah,
Did you try the
exactly.
product, Nelly, or you wanna you want us
I
to show
haven't
you
tried
really
it
quick?
yet. Yeah, please show it to me.
I can show you. Like maybe I can show on my screen, or unless you, Chris, you want to show it because you built most of it. So this
Yeah,
we
yeah,
built during the podcast on one of the episodes.
Oh
yeah,
wow.
We went through the idea. Chris explained like the problem he was trying to solve, and we just did it on Replit with AI,
yeah.
and we had a pretty solid version by the end of the podcast. So it's super cool.
We did, yeah. It's
Quite
it's
impressive.
it's pretty good. So let me show you this. So you'll recognize that a lot of this is can you see it yet?
Yes.
You can.
We
Perfect.
cannot.
Oh,
There
can
we
you
go.
now? Lovely.
Yeah, there you go.
So
It's changing.
changed a little bit. I've moved a few things around, tried to give it a little bit more of a more friendly UX, and this is my signed in version. So basically, what it has, it gives us through asking me a bunch of questions, a kind of list of supplements that I should take. It also gives me a summary of why I should take those supplements because of the answers that I gave, and it lets me to track my progress or also retake the quiz, so I can give you a quick sense of how that works. We're going step by step by step, and then we
You're
can
26,
also
nice.
yeah yeah
Been a
yeah
tough 26 years.
yeah. It's like it can't tell if you're lying either.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's
That's
not
another
a
feature for
supplement
the
problem.
future. Yeah.
Yeah, but we've as
Oh,
we've
this is
gone on,
new.
we've enhanced it. Yeah, exactly, because
Yeah.
we only asked for 5 options, but the feedback we got from people was, well, I take way more supplements than that already.
Yeah. And these are new also. Some options,
Yeah,
the stress.
did
I guess
new options.
yeah, the people that talked to you were very stressed.
Exactly. Yeah. So I take allopurinol for gout because I'm an old man and I have gout. So I actually am now with this free text. I'm actually interacting straight with a GPT. So actually, it's querying that and kind of giving me my recommendation, and then I can view the product
Super cool.
details. It gives me an overview, some research of why it's useful, the safety
So
conditions.
science-based. So it's back.
So science based. And then
Yeah.
I don't know if you've just tracked, but I've actually just flipped to Amazon by clicking this button here where I can buy, and
It's
then
amazing.
then we can come back.
And
So
this was all a few hours of work, no zero code. Neither of us knows how to code.
nope,
Super cool.
yeah. So
This
we
is
got
so
this,
cool.
yeah, pretty quickly within a couple of hours. And then I suppose this is exactly the point of the pod now, right? So within a couple of hours we got this, but then within a couple of
Yeah.
weeks we have sat on not a lot. So
Yeah.
if we can combine this skill set of creating fast products with a fast go to market and growth strategy, then really our businesses can fly, I think.
Yeah. So the business model is basically they take the quiz, and then when they go to Amazon, we get a commission from those sales.
Yeah.
So there's like an affiliate connection there.
Yeah.
So what we were discussing, and Nelio, you can probably help us here. It's because of the business model, you can't really buy traffic because the math wouldn't work. Like the arbitrage doesn't work, right?
Yeah.
So we have
So
to
it's an
find
SEO game.
it's SEO. SEO is quite slow.
Yeah. It's gonna take you
Or
like 3 to
con
6 months to get like significant traffic. Or
yeah,
YouTube.
exactly. Or YouTube. So
So
that's
basically,
what
like
we were thinking.
the only way to hack these kind of like businesses, it's so there's only like if you think about it, there's only 2 ways, right? There's like marketing push and marketing pull. So marketing
Yeah.
push is something you shovel down people feeds.
Yeah.
And for that, generally, unless you already have a following or you have like some viral posting or whatever, it's gonna be very hard to do organically. The other
Yeah.
one, it's basically marketing pull, where basically they get like keywords. You intercept keywords of people looking for whatever type of thing you're solving for, And these guys, like, it's super good to start from there because the buying intent is already pretty high. So basically, you're like just capturing a stream of buying intent. And then you can intercept that in two ways. One is organic with SEO and YouTube, and the other one is paid with, paid YouTube ads or search SEM. These are pretty much the playbooks that you're gonna find. Maybe another one could be Reddit if you are very,
Like going to
very much,
forums.
if you're very active on Reddit and you can, and go on forums and suggest that. Why not?
How would you like you just mentioned these are the playbooks? How would you select which playbook to use?
So if you have a lot of money, go for marketing push. So meaning that you can spend on advertising, you can spend on like direct response advertising, and I mean a lot of money. It's also like $2,000. That's more than enough. $1,000 is more than enough to get started. And that is like one way of doing it. The other way, if you don't have money, then you need to index for organic growth. And organic growth comes in two forms. So either you are good at posting, and generally LinkedIn is like the best organic, like that's where you get more distribution among like your network, etc. Or you need to go organic growth on pull channels, which is like basically Google, which is either YouTube, and then you get good at indexing your videos on YouTube, or you get good at SEO, and then in 3 to 6 months you get good at like ranking. Anyone looking in supplements or whatever, they get pretty much access to this.
Got it.
Well, probably if you want to be where they are, LinkedIn maybe is not the best, no, for supplements. Like people are not. Maybe you
I would
too.
I would challenge
know.
that. I would challenge that. Like basically, why not? Like I'm a busy professional. I spend on LinkedIn. So people go on LinkedIn twice a day, right? So that's what the data was showing. One, it's like around 9 a.m. So just before they start working or they're about to start working, as if they're opening the newspaper. So like these all social media, these like platforms where there are feeds, they basically just came and
Opening the newspaper. That reminds us of our age.
exactly. So that
The young people have
pretty
never seen those. That are like
a
they took
newspaper,
the whole
exactly.
room, right?
So it comes basically to like replace that. So it completely replaced that thing. So people, instead of like opening a newspaper, now they're gonna go on like LinkedIn or whatever. And for professionals, they're definitely gonna go on LinkedIn first thing in the morning, and then second during their lunch break. I remember back in our time, you would probably like read a newspaper, or you would see people reading newspapers during lunch break. So it's pretty much the same thing, same behavior. So you're gonna intercept that in that moment. And if you have a bit of LinkedIn following, which is not too hard to get, but I mean it requires some consistency and whatnot, you can start posting twice a day, morning and lunchtime, on basically how this solved a problem for you. Or I felt like, because Chris, for instance, he's a professional, he's a product owner, he's a product director, is a VP of product, whatever, but he's also a person that has it's like has work, and he also has like his life. So definitely LinkedIn could work. Instagram I would avoid, because it's impossible to, like, right now it's impossible to go organically get reach. It's like very you need to be, it's already like a closed environment.
Is that because you need to get users, you need to get followers to get any traction?
No, it's basically these platforms are like the discoverability, that it's like very, very difficult, because there's so many users, so many people posting, so many, like it's so hard to get that initial traction. And I think now it's pretty much rigged, in the sense that Instagram, in order for you to get that traction, etc., I don't think you can possibly do it as a normal person. You need to be part of like some sort of network that will send you traffic, and like you need to be, it's like a bit of a rigged system. Also because there's more money there, so that's where people buy stuff. So of course it's gonna get, like, there's gonna be powers at play that are gonna privilege some people instead of others, and those who are winning, they still want to keep on winning. They're not gonna leave space for new entrants.
I heard there's an effect that has a name. I can't remember the name now, where and it happens with music even. So I saw an analysis with music. So the people who are on top, who already have the following, have 95% better chance than anyone else because so if you look at the top charts in music, there's no new artists almost. They're all in their 30s. So because when YouTube started, Beyonce was big, Bruno Mars was big, they're all still on the top because that's when they get the following and all of that. So it's a bit similar to that, right? Like it
Yeah, sort
feeds
of.
the followers
Yeah, sort
or the
of.
popular ones.
Or basically you're so good at that game already that you've learned that game so well that basically then for you building audiences and building followership, etc., like happens pretty easily because you know the formats, you know like the playbook, you
Mm.
know it so well that then you can make it happen. And I saw that I just met like an influencer and she had like more than 1 million followers, and basically like her account got shut down because of XYZ. I don't know what happened. I think there's like hate sort of like groups like influencers that hates other influencers, so they're going to send all their following to like block or like report as spam that type of influencer, whatever, so then in order to get their account banned or shut down.
Wow.
And so what happened is that she had to start from scratch, but within like
Wow.
3 months she was back at like maybe 600,000
Oh, wow.
or
It's amazing.
500,000 or something.
Maybe
And the
we need to
reason,
bring her in the podcast.
yeah, and she was telling me like, man, it's just about literally the format. Just once you know the formula,
Mm.
then you just repeat
Yeah.
that formula over and over. But getting to that formula, it's like very difficult because you probably by now had already like spent probably like without exaggerating, but probably at least like 3 to 5 years in understanding that formula, just doing that
Mm.
day in day out.
Yeah.
So you can learn a formula then. So like I mean, one argument could be that person was just recognizable from her previous account. But so there's that
Yeah.
one avenue. But what you're saying is actually no, what this person has done is learned a series of techniques
What
and ways
works?
of
Yeah,
doing things.
100%.
Okay.
There's
Nice.
definitely like
This.
techniques and whatnot to that you can leverage,
Yeah.
but it's only half of the thing, right? So even if you learn all that technique, you're probably gonna land at 15,000 followers, not like
Yeah.
500,000.
This
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
super
Yeah.
important now because, like we were saying before, building products is easy now. What's difficult is getting the users.
The
So
user, of course.
we think or I think, I mean, you can correct me if I'm putting words in your mouth. Influencers are getting a lot of power now because they are people who have a way to get, they have a channel that's cost efficient. You don't need to
Yeah, they
pay.
have the customers. I mean,
Yeah,
like, at the end of the day,
yeah.
if you see, like, think of it as a business, more generally, like, the one who makes the sale makes the more money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why, big CEOs generally, they come from sales background, or big, like, sales VPs are the one that are making the most money in a company. It's like, selling is the hardest part of this whole thing. Like building, I think now it's getting more and more commoditized. So sales become like has a massive index.
Yeah.
Especially that now if you look at it, like I was literally shocked at the numbers, but like when you look at all the niche and sub niche, the level of saturation is massive. Like when we probably first
Mm.
started like 10 years ago or 7 years ago or whatever, like niches were pretty much, there was like a lot of flexibility to build stuff. Like you could find white spaces, you could build like an audience in there. Now all
Mm.
the niches are maxed out at like the
Mm.
the lowest you can find is probably like if you score from a 0
Mm.
where it's like a white space to a 10 where it's like a red space, you're
Mm.
gonna find very few niches that are basically are at 6, and you're not gonna find anything that are below that.
Mm.
And I've just geeked out on YouTube recently because I'm getting very passionate about like understanding now how to build like YouTube audiences and whatnot. I think that is
Mm.
where it's gonna be very very exciting. And man, like finding a green niche. So there's like green, yellow, red. Like
Mm.
green niches, they don't exist unless
Yeah.
they have no audience. They have no searches.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And the way the
So
way
that's
this
because the
yeah.
tools are accessible to find those, right?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
you can go on any dashboard. I can
Mm.
share my screen if you want. But like,
Sure.
let's say for instance,
Yeah.
you want to go into sorry. So let me just go here.
Yeah. By the way, we
and
lost Stu, so we're seeing a black screen. Just ignore that. I hope Stu's okay.
so let's say you wanna build like a YouTube channel, right? So say, hey, I'm gonna start like building a YouTube channel, and I'm gonna start with, I don't know, like video games. So
This is Vidic. Vidic. I've never seen this tool before.
yeah, Vedic, yep. So basically, you see the niche, the search volume is massive, 34,000 searches per month, but the competition is a 9 out of 10. So at the end, it's gonna end up being like a score of 4 out of 10. Let's
This
say,
is
for instance,
for YouTube or for what?
no, just
Kind of
YouTube,
channel? Okay, cool.
just YouTube. Let's
Yeah.
go weight loss. So weight loss, it's even worse. Like you got like 500,000 view, like 500,000 search volume per month, but the competition is like massive.
Right. Can you search supplements? That's what the product we're building.
Supplements, let's go.
Oh.
I mean, you see, it scores like a 6 because like you have high search volume, but competition is not very high. It's like high,
High, but not super high.
but not
And then
super
you
high.
have
So it's like
supplements.
almost in green.
What is that? Like related keywords, Dr. Janine. What's that?
Yeah, then how this is how
Nootropic
you
and something.
so the Dr. Janine
Nice.
show, then you take this. I'm sorry. You take this, and then this is like gonna be most likely an influencer.
Yeah, lady that
That's
talks
it.
about.
Dr. Janine Browning, almost a million subscribers.
That's
And
someone we can partner with for Found.fit.
that's it. That's it.
Or
And
we,
then
we create
Janine.
Dr. Gustavo Schmidt.
or you
Fake
create
doctor. Best
or
way
yeah,
to go to jail. Impersonate a physician.
yeah, I mean that's like, but like that is the way you're gonna spot niches, and this is actually like a pretty cool
Nice.
niche, the one that you guys are suggesting, because it doesn't seem too competitive yet, but like the number of keywords is pretty high.
What's that matching terms that you have there on the third tab?
Oh, if it just like matches, so let's say
No,
for
because you're
instance,
still on Janine. You're still on Dr.
yeah.
Janine.
So let's say for instance I go in supplements, it's pretty good. Not very competitive, and then you're gonna see like overall this is a 6, 6, 5. These are the best ones. There's
Yeah.
stiff lip supplements.
Stiff
I don't
lip. What is that? I
don't
don't search it just in case.
There's not a quiz question that we ask about stiff lip.
Yeah. Do you have a stiff upper lip?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, you're
Let's see.
British.
Do you like ACDC? Yeah.
What is stiff lip stuff? Oh, it's a YouTube thing.
Yeah, there you go.
Dippable pre-workout because shaker cups. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Try. Yeah. I'm afraid if you open something weird, I don't want to edit this video.
Yeah. Low vibe.
Cool. Yeah. By the way, so this actually is very related to what we were thinking about. So
Yeah.
we were thinking very similar terms. So SEO takes time. No one has patience for that, even though it's super important and you should still do it. We have some features that Chris built on the website talk about like details about the supplements, blah blah blah. But we did see that for social media you need to have the followers, so nothing happens if you post. It's like you're posting in the middle of the desert. But on YouTube, we started this podcast a little more than a month ago, and we have more than 12,000 views per month.
Yeah,
Mostly
and did you
because of the
get
shorts. So because the algorithm likes it, I think.
Yeah, so that is like something very interesting. That's what I would be doing is basically start answering all these questions. Very easy. You just like, I'm gonna share my screen again. You go on questions on vidIQ. How collagen supplements transform my 70 here, 6-year-old mom, whatever. Search volume is pretty high. So you can go by search volume
That's cool.
and taking like the best one. What supplements should I take? Which supplements should I take? These are like the big query. Does collagen work? Can we take supplements? Are supplements bad? Like you can do a short video for each and any of these.
So you're searching by the questions that the user asks in YouTube.
Yes.
And
yes.
deciding actually we're going to answer that with our own little okay.
Yeah,
I like
you need to sort of like answer, and I mean the competition here is pretty high. So I mean, if you want like an overall, like an average between both, then how collagen supplement transformed. Here's like my 76, etc. Maybe you could like do that as well, like whatever. Or why
Yeah.
Facebook
Mm,
disapproves supplement ads and what food
nice.
supplement for a pregnant woman. This
So
like
that's all
pregnancy is
content
pretty
you can
high.
create. Nice. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
And
So
yeah,
yeah.
that's it. So
So we
one
have.
one thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
go on, Gus.
Oh, one thing we were thinking about for this episode is, so we did some magic with like product building before. So with some prompts, we and some powerful AI, we created a pretty impressive product. Now we wanted to learn how to do that on the marketing side. So do some marketing magic and get users. So I've been looking at this tool called N8N, which
yeah.
how do you pronounce it? Nathan,
No,
or am I
everybody
making
pronounce
things?
it. Yeah, everybody pronounce it
N8N.
anytime. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been just looking on YouTube and stuff to see if this is a good tool. Looks really promising.
Yeah.
Let me show you what this is. So you can create this. Let me know when you see my screen. Yeah. You can create these workflows using AI in the middle to do pretty much anything. They're super, super impressive. So you can automate a lot of work. And if you open it from zero, it's a bit overwhelming, slightly technical. You need to connect, API keys and stuff like that. So, you can learn that. You don't need to know anything to learn how to do that, but they also have templates that already work and you can customize. So I went
Yeah.
through all of the ones that I thought were relevant,
We're free.
especially the free ones because I'm very cheap. Uh, and uh, and I did like a short list. I'm gonna walk you really quick through the short list. Um, this is the one that I think we should work on. So I actually started on this one. So AI powered short form video generator with OpenAI, Flux, Kling, and 11 Labs. So these are the tools it uses, like the AI tools it uses to do that. So it basically creates short videos. So we can tell it, hey, look, create short videos about this content you were talking about, the supplements, and
Yeah.
it will create like with a voiceover and some images and so on. Um, I don't think this one posts on YouTube, but there are other workflows that post directly on YouTube. So we might be able to combine those two. So automatically we can create, a video per hour or a video per day or whatever. And these shorts, the algorithm likes them. So we have
Yeah.
shorts that have more than 1,000 views. We have shorts that have 3. So you just like throw them out there and see what catches on. There was one also to generate Instagram content from top trends using AI image generation. Pretty cool. But we talked about how Instagram, you have to have followers. It
Yeah.
takes time to like accumulate followers. AI YouTube trend finder. So that's a bit related to the tool you were showing us. Interesting.
Yeah.
Generate SEO, optimize WordPress content. Very cool, but takes time. Upload to Instagram, TikTok. So if you create something, you can automatically upload to all the social media channels. Post automatically daily on LinkedIn. I have a question for you too about LinkedIn. So I over the years I got a lot of followers on LinkedIn, like 14,000 something. But I find it works for hiring because people are looking for a job. So if you post a job, you'll get like 10,000 impressions in a day. Um, but for other things, I find it a bit fake. So people are like, "Hey, congratulations," and they just use the message that's like pre-written. I don't find like real engagement on
Yeah. Yeah.
LinkedIn other than searching for a job.
I'm the same.
Yeah.
I find now there's this kind of movement towards the single shot with a guy looking over his shoulder randomly into the distance, and then an AI generated post that goes on for about 3 days.
Yeah.
And these guys have tens and tens of thousands of followers,
Yeah. Yeah.
but what they're getting from them, I'm really not sure.
Yeah,
because yeah,
a lot of the content I see is also obviously AI generated, like long blog posts full of emojis, which is like
yeah,
a way you detect if it's a GPT or not.
yeah.
With AI generated images, I'm sure they're okay, but no one read. I don't think anyone reads them.
So, I'm not going to answer your question. I'm just going to answer another question.
Yeah.
And maybe Nelio, you can help us like vibe work it out, which means that we work it out on the fly. In a world where everyone can potentially, if they've got a few dollars per month, buy some of these tools that we're looking at here, and potentially auto post on a very regular basis. What's gonna separate the guys that do that successfully from the ones that don't? You know, that's what I can't figure out, because we're entering potentially a position now whereby anyone could create a lot of content, but not everyone can create the same amount of audience. Surely someone's
Yeah.
got to win and someone's got to lose.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like basically, so it comes down to like I think content comes down really to three things. One is the niche, like what kind of niche are you consistently position yourself in? Because like a lot of people that you mentioned that write these blog posts, etc., it's like thought leadership, and thought leadership can go like in all sort of directions. So it doesn't really respect one specific niche. So meaning that it's not talking all the time about startups and marketing or startups and product. So it gets like very, very like it's very relevant for like pretty much everyone, but there's not a lot of engagement because it's not specifically relevant and annoyingly specific for a specific audience. So I
Yeah,
think like audience engagements comes from something that is called like a relevance score that basically depends like how relevant you are for that type of audience. And even when you talk about startups, let's say, it's not even like doing like startup and product content, but let's say like startup in fintech for product owners that are between Series A and Series B.
yeah,
So that is where you're gonna create like more engagement because then you're like very specific for a very specific niche, and you give content that heavily resonates to the mental space that these people are in.
yeah,
Uh, that is how you create. So it's basically like terms of like niche that overlaps with another thing, which is like the audience. And then the third thing is depth of insight, originality of insight, and you know excitement, freshness that you can bring to the table. Because a lot of people do the niche correctly, they target their content to the audience correctly, but then they're repeating the same things that other people are repeating. So at the end of the day, people are not going to engage because like, oh, I saw this like
Yeah.
millions of times.
yeah,
Like if you say, oh, it's not about marketing, it's about the product, it's about like selling a product that people want without, like, you know, these are like all like they're banalities. They're just like okay, everybody knows that. It's like
yeah,
is you know, it's like okay, Mister, okay, Captain Obvious, it's fine. So it's literally like overlapping these three things. So
yeah,
if
yeah,
you have like a niche that is like very specific and the audience size is big enough, and you bring like a fresh, authentic insight that are very original, and that's where like you see a lot of content creators going really far,
yeah, yeah.
especially with like you know I don't know if you've seen this whole new like this whole trend that went really viral like a couple of years ago, which is like the
Yeah.
contrarian niche. So
Peter
basically everybody,
Thiel and
yeah, everybody's saying like, oh, your business should be scalable. Why it's not scalable? Then a lot of people are gonna be like, oh, why your business should not scale?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah.
And so you see that is like sort of what that original and fresh perspective kind of falls back into.
yeah.
But by the
So
way, you
very,
mentioned that sorry, the way to stand out is like being original and like se knowing your segment and like having a message that resonates with that segment. Do you think you can do that with AI, or you can only do that with humans?
Meaning like that content, yeah, of course you can use AI. So let's say for
Yeah.
instance, okay, let's take like let me share my screen. Let's probably take, I don't know, something like Perplexity, right? and let's go on VAQ to see like what kind of keyword, like what kind of questions, how collagen supplements. So actually something like, let's take a very interesting question. Um,
I love how you
what?
had Chris in the middle of the screen there.
What, sorry?
Oh, that's me. I love how you had Chris in the middle of the screen there, just like, hey, don't look at this.
So let's take, for instance, I don't know, something like super interesting. What food supplements for a pregnant lady? What food supplements for a pregnant lady? Give me some contrarian perspective.
Oh, so you're Googling this, Anna's perplexity. Okay,
No,
okay, okay.
perplexity. That does not go against medical recommendation. Okay, so that you don't get in jail.
Yeah.
And then like that's where they can give a perspective. Then you have to be able to write it to grow standard, whatever, and then contrarian perspective. Not all women need like a full prenatal vitamin. So then here you can already start with a blog post or with a YouTube video, whatever. Why you shouldn't fully rely on prenatal multivitamin. And here you have like the arguments. Iron supplementation should be individualized. So here, like another like here, then you can turn this into like YouTube viral video title that is clickbait. Okay.
This is a good way to like kind of a hack to do long tail content.
Yeah.
Because this is stuff that there's no content for. Well, not a lot of content for this because it's the non-traditional recommendations, right?
Exactly. So, and this could be like great for your videos, right? Because now you're answering like a keyword that is pretty good. Like search of volume is 1,400 per month, and you've got very low competition. So you can go and like own that niche by providing contrarian content. So, so here, iron supplements during pregnancy, the dangerous mistake you could be making. This is like super clickbaity, right? So if you do like a video like this, and if you're a pregnant woman and your doctor told you, hey, you should do like iron supplements, you're like, oh, wait, maybe I could be making a mistake here. So super clickbait.
And you prompted to have like clickbait kind of.
Yeah, I just turned this into
We're
a
being
YouTube viral
evil.
video. That is
Right,
I mean, all
yeah,
YouTube.
it works.
So someone like, you know, I've been geeking out on YouTube for a while now, and like basically the thing that really comes up is like 70 to 80% of your effort should be posted on title and thumbnail for long form. And for short form, it should be just title. And it should be like super short, also the title. So even that is too long for the title. So, and it has to be clickbait. Otherwise, people are not going to click. There's like, you know, the attention span is too low.
Can I just a quick question on the clickbait thing, because for me that's a triggering word. I think that's what the kids say, triggering, right? So how do you create a brand that's trusted, but also has this association with clickbaity? Is there something there that?
I mean, the content can be clickbait. You have a lot of brands that have built like massive following and massive success that have built with like clickbait content, but then the brand itself is not clickbait. So one is like clickbait is basically just in the game of attention.
Got it.
Not in delivering the product. Now, if you're just clickbaiting and then you're not giving anything, you're giving false information, you're giving bad products, you're giving like then I mean,
so there is substance in the content, but the title is a hook.
The title, because it's like basically like as if, think of it like retail, right? So as if you're like in a supermarket. If your product packaging is like, okay, pastel color, super, you know, like very quiet, etc., because no, it's not our brand, etc. Well, then guess what? You're never gonna be seen.
Yeah.
Whereas like and YouTube is the same. It's like an attention game, and the attention happens in the first like split second to understand if this is a video that you want to watch or not.
Yeah.
And so it needs to be very like appetizing, it has to be very appealing so that you grab it. Now, why clickbait has become such a bad reputation? It's because it was just for the click, but then it's just to bait you in, and then there was nothing, or even worse, it was dangerous for your health, it was dangerous for your mental safety, it was dangerous for election purpose, it was all dangerous stuff.
Yeah.
But clickbait in itself, I mean, it's just like an attention grabbing tool. Then you can use that tool the way you want. You want to do it as a force of good, you can then use it as a force of good. You want to use it as a force of evil, you can do it. It's a tool. It's like a knife. You can cut you can cut an apple or you can kill someone.
Yeah.
Please cut an apple only.
Yeah. Yeah. That's not a brand line on our supplement website, by the way.
By the way, as you guys talk, I'm gonna start setting up this NA10 stuff. Actually, I'll show you really quick because it would be cool if also we can show people like how this works.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let me show my screen really quick so people see what we're doing. So I selected that template that I showed you. So AI powered short form video, and I can instruct it, I assume, to have clickbaity titles. So what you need to do to set it up is this uses a bunch of tools. So you need to log in to your tools or give it the API key and whatever. So I had here to log into my Google account so it can use a spreadsheet. I think that's where it's going to take like all of the content for the videos, like a prompt. So we might have to populate a spreadsheet with videos about, this contrarian things or whatever. I had to put my API key from OpenAI. This is super easy to do. So you go to, I'm showing my API key. You go to OpenAI API keys. You search that on Google, and then you create one. It's a secret key, so you copy it, and it only appears once. Don't share it with anyone because if people use your API key, that can become really expensive. I think I didn't show my full API key, so there's no risk here. This part is a bit trickier. So it's gonna put all of the videos it creates into a Google Drive, and you have to give it access to your Google Drive API. For that, you need to go to the Google Cloud Console. You need to create an account if you don't have one. And the nice thing is you can ask the assistant here how to set it up. So it will give you detailed instructions on what to do step by step. So it becomes easy, because this is something I didn't know how to do. Like the Cloud Console is more for technical people. But you go to your Cloud Console, then you find Google Drive API, you create credentials and so on, and then you put that here into this. And then you need to do something similar with Discord, which I didn't get to. So I'm going to be doing all this stuff. After this, it's going to give me, I assume, this kind of thing, like a flow with, all of the steps. So first it generates the video captions from Google Sheets, generates images using Flux, then generates videos using Kling. These are all like different AIs. Generates voice using like a voiceover using like 11 Labs. And then you complete the video and put it on Google Sheets, on Google Drive, and it will notify you on Discord. We can probably change this last part to post it directly on YouTube.
Yeah.
So super, super interesting. And if the titles are clickbaity and all of that, maybe we'll get, even more views than what we're getting now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So that's what I'm going to start doing while you guys talk. Maybe I'll put a question in every now and then.
I'm going to just summarize what I think we just discussed before that, Nelio. So because I'm that guy, or I'm potentially a business owner that is built a product at a similar time as maybe the next guy. They use the same tools, and we probably come up with a very similar template of the product. But I think what I'm hearing from you is that the guy that wins is the guy that can build an audience around what they're doing. And how do they do that? Well, they identify key trends or questions or things that are going on within that kind of that sphere, that industry, and actually spends time tapping into that. So they tackle the difficult questions, potentially create contrarian views to create interest, find some kind of tactical clickbaity strategies, but ultimately the point is to deliver value to the
Absolutely.
audience. Yeah. So yeah, I think for me, yeah, the winner sounds like someone who spends more time in this space than I initially had thought.
Why? What were your initial thought?
Well, I suppose one of the things that you could get lost in is the world of AI, where everything is potentially automated. But because we just had this conversation about the fact that you've still got to deliver value and you've still got to deliver alternative viewpoints, that you don't want to be seen to be delivering the same content as the next guy. It's not going to be as easy as potentially give me this specific output. It's going to be, like you say, give me a contrarian view. Let me put my spin on it as well, any experience that I've got, which won't directly come from the GPT itself. So I think for me, maybe the kind of CEO of the future is maybe more of a marketing person going forward.
Well, I hope, because like for marketeers, it's a very dark age, because like
Yeah,
all the playbooks have been like maxed out, and in order to create like a niche, it's very, very, very complicated. But
yeah,
coming to your point, I think it's like super important, even for your brand and for what you're building. I would first of all like try to identify the audience, because
yeah,
if you're talking to like pregnant woman is one thing. If you're talking to Nelio, Gustavo, Chris, 40 years old, like dad, this and that, you're talking to another audience. So I think you like basically, if you want to build like very interesting content, and if you want to make your product more relevant, I would probably start trying to understand what is the audience that is buying more supplements currently.
yeah,
And there are different ways of doing that. There's like Href.
yeah,
There are different tools to really like double click to understand what kind more or less of audience has like a very good, could be like a very good niche. And then you tailspin everything in your marketing for that specific audience. Remember, the relevance score is the most important aspect, because we are in such a like uh, conflated world, and there's so much noise that people are only going to react to something if it's like, if it feels that it's speaking to them specifically.
yeah, yeah.
So
Big,
on that
yeah,
note, if you decide that you're so that was probably my first thing that I would say about like the positioning of this supplement thing, is
yeah,
that it doesn't seem to have like a very specific audience in mind.
yeah. I agree.
So I think probably you should clarify that by looking at some analytics, looking at some research online, looking at tools like Href to understand what is the market that is like buying more supplements online, and
Mm.
within that market, what is the age and what is the gender.
Yeah, yeah,
And from there, you can really understand what are the pain points of a 40 years old guy versus a 40 years old female versus a pregnant lady versus a young guy that wants to just like operate at maximum performance all of his life.
Mm.
I think it's a really good point. And look, whilst I understand the point about understanding your audience, that for me, it's the bit that we probably lost halfway through the build. So if you were to track back
Mm.
through the episodes and sort of see where we started from a point of what's the size of the opportunity, what's the TAM, the served available market, what do these personas look like, and then that almost was put to one side.
Yeah.
And we then went, okay, well, what does a product look like? And actually, I think
Yeah.
what
Typical
we
product
should,
person thing to do,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Now let's
exactly.
build. Oh, I have this idea. Oh, I have this idea.
So yeah, actually, we need to get back to basics. We need to get back to who we're designing for, and
Yeah, because like
yeah,
product people, they build product, but then like the key question is you're building for who? And this is like I
yeah,
think where you're gonna get a lot of like return on investment on your time and on your money is like if the product you're building and the whole thing is engineered around the who you're building it for.
yeah,
I think the who is more important than the what, especially now that there's like products are almost a commodity because you can find pretty much anything online, anything you want.
Yeah.
So coming with a product innovation is extremely hard, but coming with a who innovation, like a product for a specific niche and
A specific
category, that's
niche.
where the innovation is. Because we're not in the age of like infinite white spaces. We are like in the we are in the age of like literal incremental innovation.
Like micro
Incremental
segmentation kind of thing.
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Yes. That
And
is
now
where the
you can
money is.
do it, especially with all these AI tools. You can
Yes, 100%.
customize like super granularly, no?
Yes,
yeah,
100%.
Uh,
I told you, like
but
right now, I can literally. So as I told you, I saw in the keywords that basically for supplement, the third most researched keyword in terms of, sorry, not keyword, but in terms of question, in terms of like the search volume, after what supplement should I take, which doesn't tell me much about the audience.
yeah,
It's basically the first thing would be, or how to sell supplement. That's another niche. Best bodybuilding supplements for beginners. That's another niche. So if you just go through this list here, you're gonna find niches like audience based on keyword research, right? So what supplement should I take? Doesn't tell me much about the audience. This here, how to take workout supplements. Okay, so workouts,
so
so it's for
beginners. Okay.
fitness, beginners, etc. Chem calcium, so beginners again. So then you need to go through this and understand, is it more for bodybuilding? 100%. And then you can go meet, but this like the search volume is pretty, like the competition is pretty high. So you're gonna,
yeah,
so if you go into like overall and you just find like a niche, you're gonna find that who should not take or herbal supplement. That's another one. And then acne people. So
yeah.
not bad, and the competition is low,
It's low, yeah,
which is like really good. Another thing is probably how to start selling supplements. That could be like a good online course right there.
yeah, yeah,
I feel like
And so on.
we started this kind of for ourselves, like guys in their 40s who start feeling it.
yeah.
Like, how can I help myself? Actually, I had never taken a supplement in my life. And now that I had this conversation with you, I used 1,000 dirhams in Amazon gift cards, and I bought a bunch of AI research
Yeah, but you see
supplements.
the problem with doing it this way, I mean, it could be good, don't get me wrong, but then the problem is that you see like the
It's
keyword.
saturated.
No, it's not saturated. Like
Uh,
the competition is pretty low, but because the search volume is like very low.
yeah.
Because it's like a long tail keyword, and it seems that people what are really interested after they're 40 is how to build muscle after 40.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
where you see that
Super
is where
important.
2,000 keywords, 1,000 keywords, another 1,000 keywords. And if you put like how to build muscle after 40, let's see, maybe weightlifting after 40, like
Yeah.
we need to find the macro category.
This got quite big now with these health influencers like Peter Attia, who's like putting a lot of emphasis in like, hey, you want to not age, build muscle. Like that's the way that you can be able to, you're gonna be able to stand up and tie your shoelaces and stuff like that when you're older.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a
So
lot of
yeah.
attention on that now.
Yeah, so basically then you have to play around with it to understand, the macro thing. But if you don't have like at least 50,000 search volume, you're in a very specific niche
Mm.
that, man, good luck finding, like,
So
good luck.
50,000, okay.
Yeah,
That's
like I would
that's
And
say
this
like,
useful.
is
Yeah.
YouTube searches, no? You
yeah,
said, or is it
YouTube
Google
searches.
searches?
No, no,
Yeah,
YouTube
okay.
searches. So search volume,
Amazing.
for instance, for supplements, it makes a lot of sense because it's 54 and the competition is not like crazy high. And then in
Yeah.
terms of questions, you need to go and see like things that are overall interesting. And then you're gonna find like all this stuff to understand better. Uh, you see this one, what food supplement for a pregnant woman? That's 2,000, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
And low. So this is like definitely an audience. Um, concentration. This is another audience. So yeah, so I mean that's how I would do it. I would like try to build it like I would only build a company starting from demand. I wouldn't do the other way around.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's very cool. So I got a bit stuck with the N8N thing because for the Google Cloud credentials, it needs like a review. So I need to wait for the review. So maybe the next episode we can show like an
Results.
automation and everything. But I mean, people know the tool now. They can find the templates. They can set it up and eventually it works, I think. Um,
Well, they've got. I think we've got a strategy, right? So
yeah.
actually what we're talking about here is just the tool to execute. But now we
Yeah.
know how to kind of identify the audience that to go after,
Yeah.
how to create some kind of value in terms of content, and then it's a case of just automating that through the tool,
Yeah,
right?
totally.
And
There's
Yeah.
especially that now with Replit, like what you guys have done is like super,
yeah,
super exciting because now imagine, okay, let's say for instance you're doing like you're now segmenting the audience and you're testing different audience because you won't know which one is gonna blow up. And now you can try pregnant ladies and you're gonna do
mm,
like content for pregnant ladies and you're gonna link it to a landing page that is where the wording and the positioning and the whole
mm,
universe is around pregnancy.
Yeah.
Then you do it after bodybuilding and then what are the things, and then it's all going to be
mm.
about that. So your
Nice.
Yeah.
product is not going to be like just your just your website. It's going to be tagged to different landing pages, segmented
Mm,
by categories that you're going to see on those
mm.
keyword research, and then based on that you direct traffic.
Ah,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That's cool.
Yeah.
I wonder if so with this NHN, you showed us these insights from this vidIQ. There might be an automation on this N8N where you create the content based on the trends
Yeah.
and then you post. So we have like this automated traffic building machine.
Yeah,
Super
100%.
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Then like it will do probably like step one is going into vidIQ and like finding those like trending
Mm,
niches. It's gonna find itself the audience. Because at the end of the day, it's like audience is more important even than like the keyword itself. It's like understanding
mm,
what is the audience. And then
yeah.
from there, and what is the use case, right? Audience and use case.
Mm,
So you get that, then from there, it's gonna create a script, and then it's gonna create like an AI generated video, and then in no time, you're gonna have
nice.
just like the whole thing done.
The nice thing about this is that in the last episode we identified a way of creating templates of the product we've just created. So it
Oh
doesn't have
wow.
Yeah.
to be supplements. You can just
Yeah.
go baby wear. You can go drinks. You can go
Yeah.
whatever it is. So if you collect this whole wheel together, the
Yeah.
marketing wheel and the product wheel,
Yeah.
you've got 10, 15 businesses just
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
So you find those niches.
yeah.
Like now we're going for people with like who want supplements. We have the half a build product for mothers, like what to buy, all of this. You can do for runners, all the stuff you need when you're a runner, people who
100%.
do CrossFit or whatever. So we have the product. Now we can build the marketing automation to build the traffic on YouTube. We just customize a few details and the template is the same.
Yep.
Super cool.
And you answer those questions, right? So what supplements should I take? Like answer like super important question like who should not take herbal supplements and why?
Mm, mm,
Like something like what supplements get rid of acne? That's like 2,000 searches per month consistently
Yeah.
with like
Yeah.
very low competition. Like nobody's
Yeah.
like talking about that. What
Nice.
supplements break a fast? That's also very interesting, and that's like 2,500.
Yeah.
Very low competition. So like all of these are like very, very, very strong. So yeah.
Nice.
Cool, man. That's awesome. We are at 1 hour exactly now.
Exactly.
So good way to wrap up, I think.
Yeah.
Very,
I
very
thought,
interesting.
yeah, I thought this was super useful as well. Even if nobody listens to this,
Yeah.
I've got everything I needed from you, Nelio.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's
But
awesome.
but if anyone does, now they're starting to see like the secret sauce to build a business that works,
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
runs on its own, right?
Yeah.
Which is the dream. Like make money while you're sleeping.
That's it. It's an asset.
That's one
Exactly.
of
Yeah.
those clickbait kind of titles, no? Like
It's-
make
That's
money
it.
while you're sleeping.
It's also now the title of this podcast.
Yeah. Exactly.
Make money while you sleep.
Based on Nelio's recommendation, we're gonna change the name of the podcast. So like, you'll never know what happens in step 5.
Yeah,
Oh man, I hate
Yeah. People who did these 5 things.
yeah. We're unstoppable. Yeah.
Oh dear.
Oh my God.
Anyway, cool. Well, thanks
hope
so
they'll
much for
become
joining
those.
us, Nelio.
Yeah,
Thanks,
my
Nelio.
pleasure.
Been amazing.
Pleasure.
Really great.
Yeah.
Thank you very
so
much. Take care, guys.
Perfect.
See you,
Thanks,
Nelly.
everyone.
See you, everyone. Thank you very
Bye-bye.
much. Thanks for staying. Cool.